Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com with your Crypto Sunday. I'm going to go over some of the cryptos, what I think's going on with them, where they're headed, where they might head. My overall take right now, not a lot of them, just a couple of them. It's going to be a crypto crazy summer by the end of July, beginning of August. All kinds of things going on with cryptos, a lot of ICOs coming out. We'll get past the August 1st potential hard fork, potential Bitcoin resolution, potential Bitcoin chaos. Everybody's kind of been waiting for that. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think many people do. Cliffs Data has Bitcoin going way out into the future, so long term you don't really have to worry about it. Short term there might be some chaos. Let's take a look at where we're sitting right now with Bitcoin. The site I'm on right now is coinmarketcap.com. It has most of the traded cryptocurrencies. Some are traded on tiny markets, so you got to keep that in mind. But Bitcoin is looking at a $41 million market cap right now. Total supply is getting up there, 16.437 million coins out there that have been mined. A lot of those are gone, disappeared, lost in computers, thrown in landfills, will never be pulled out. I don't know the exact number. They're estimated 2 to 4 million, I think, coins that have disappeared and will never be found because you lost your private key. It's just part of the Bitcoin story. And if anybody running evaluation of Bitcoin should take that into account. But we're looking at a price of $2,545. Cliffs Data has the next run going up to about 4,800 per Bitcoin. I don't know about the timing on that. I would assume it's sometime in August when things start getting really crazy. September, October are just going to be nuts for the cryptos. It's in Cliffs Data. It's in a lot of people are looking at the sector and saying, oh my God, this is a way to fund new companies. All kinds of things can be done with the blockchain technology. And it's not just cryptocurrencies. You got to remember that. A lot of these are tokens that pretty much represent ownership in the company. And that's how they're raising money. And it would behoove you, the word I love, behoove you to get involved and learn about it. Ethereum is going gangbusters, absolutely gangbusters in its usefulness. It is amazingly useful. And all these new startup companies are using the Ethereum platform to access blockchain technology, just like I said it would. As far as the price of Ethereum, it's going to go up and down as far as people buying when there's a new ICO coming that requires them buying into the ICO with Ethereum. So as the big ones come in into July, August, September, you should see massive spikes in the price of Ethereum because these big hedge funds are trying to get their hands on it. And the next run up should be a really fast run up for Ethereum. I don't know how high it'll go. I expect Ethereum to be over $1,000 by the end of the year, but really volatile. So just keep an eye on that. I had 10,000 for Bitcoin. Will they stay in the same ratio, 10 to 1? I don't know. I think Ethereum has a lot more going for it than Bitcoin. But because Bitcoin is mainly a store of wealth now. It's a cryptocurrency to some extent. And I think it's mainly a store of wealth. But I think the real story is not number 3, which is Ripple, which is the bankster coin. No need to get involved with them, right? But number 4 on the market cap list, Litecoin. And I've been saying this for a little while. The fight between Bitcoin is all about cost and speed. And Bitcoin has pretty much, they've decided, the core programmers have decided to go for safety rather than cost and speed. So the next best thing is Litecoin. I think Litecoin will take over that market. I think there's really interesting things coming out about Litecoin I think right around August 1st as well. So yeah, I'm ultra bullish on Litecoin. I think it could go at the very minimum a 4-to-1 ratio to Bitcoin. So right now with Bitcoin trading at 2,500, that's what, 650 or so for Litecoin, $650 per coin, and right now it's sitting at $50. So that's over 10 times move, I think, in the next few months. And then where it goes from, and that's if Bitcoin stays where it is, which I don't think it is. I think Bitcoin's going to over 10,000 by the end of the year, which would put Litecoin, even if you use the 4-to-1 ratio, at what was that, $2,500. Huge move up, considering it's only $50 right now. And then if it does what I believe it will do, ultimately, is become the best means of exchange as a currency for people, and people won't be using Bitcoin as a means of exchange. I think Litecoin very easily could hit at least the market cap, but probably cross the price of Bitcoin, whatever the price of Bitcoin is at that moment. It'll take a while. I mean, there's some changes and learning to go on, and Bitcoin really did open the door for Litecoin to go ballistic, and I think there's good people in charge of Litecoin kind of chauffeuring it through. The guys at MIT supposedly have a coming surprise for Litecoin. So yeah, it's one of those saviors of humanity, which is great. That's exactly what we needed Bitcoin to do, but Bitcoin chose not to. I'm not bitter. It's great. I mean, I own Litecoin where I used to own a lot of Bitcoin. And I think if you're just starting to invest, get yourself some Litecoin definitely first, and then maybe a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum, and then you move on to other coins and other industries and other blockchain technologies. And they're not necessarily currencies, but they are very valuable as they'll be used in certain networks. Here's the Litecoin chart. As you can see, over the past few years, it had a real exciting start, bump in the 2013-14 range, and then it kind of did nothing for a long time. And then here you see the move has been almost exponential. That is basically when Bitcoin signaled that it wasn't going for the cheap and fast route of transaction speed. So I think that'll continue to climb. The more Bitcoin struggles, the more Litecoin will take over market positions, and that includes market volume of transactions. Litecoin is exponentially 4 times as fast as Bitcoin, at least right now, and probably moving a lot faster than Bitcoin in the coming months. So yes, Litecoin, you got to get some. You can get it on Coinbase too. They added Litecoin to Coinbase, so you can get Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So that's your Litecoin. Now for a very exciting coin. This is a business. It's a business model. Veritasium. Reggie has just signed an MOU. Veritasium has signed an MOU with the Jamaican Stock Exchange to set up a decentralized exchange, and basically to circumvent what they're already doing, because that is the wave of the future. And if this goes well for Veritasium, and they're supposed to roll it out in August, if it goes well for Veritasium, adding honesty and openness of transactions to an exchange that is a little shifty in the first place, and not like the U.S. stock exchanges that are absolutely shifty. Jamaican Stock Exchange, everybody kind of makes fun of. It's a huge exchange, $6 billion market, and Veritasium's going in there and it's going to fix the problem in 2 months, and that would be an amazing thing. And you see a lot of money flocking into the Jamaican stock market because it'll be open and honest and working on a peer-to-peer basis instead of with all the broker fees and all that. So very exciting time for Veritasium. Still not trading on any big markets, but I expect it to in the next few months, and that would really increase the size of the price of Veritasium and the market cap of Veritasium exponentially, in my opinion. And in Cliff's data, it has it going $500 when it comes out of, I think it was his data or an inside guy from the banksters. $500 when it opens up on a big exchange, and then Cliff's data actually has Veritasium going up to where Bitcoin is headed. So if Bitcoin is headed to 18,008, $18,008 by I think it's mid 2018, you can see Veritasium at $18,000 a coin. It's just, look at the number now. It's 163 bucks times 10 times 100. So it could go up 100 times within a year. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. Cliff says, that's just what the data says. It's in a race with, I think he has Litecoin in there as well. Litecoin, Veritasium, and Bitcoin all competing for the top dollar value per coin. And of course, Veritasium would be way over as far as market cap if it did that. Same with way over the market cap of Bitcoin. Same with Litecoin, because there's 4 times as many Litecoin. So if Litecoin goes into, say, 1-to-1 relationship with Bitcoin, you're talking about a market cap that would be 4 times as big, or approximately. All right, moving on. One of the ones I liked. This is like a new one. It's not really trading on any markets yet, kind of, but not really. It was an ICO that I bought into, and I like this. It's ADDX, and I like it because I used to advertise for Road to Ruta on Google and all kinds of things, and they'd come back, Google ads, and they'd come back and say, "Oh, your ad was seen by 3.6 million people, and it got this kind of." All the stats that came back were like off the charts. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? This has barely moved the needle as far as views on my website that I control, and views on my YouTube channels. How is Google saying that this reached 3.6 million people? And I didn't believe them, and I think they lie. I think they lie a lot. ADDX is designed to take care of that, to end the lying, and I think all advertisers are going to require that the companies that are claiming to do the advertising use a technology like ADDX that you can't lie on, you can't cheat on, you can't steal on. It utilizes the blockchain, so you have access to the information directly. Really interesting concept. It's not one of those ones that's going to be, oh my God, my investment went up 500% on day one. This is a long-term type of scenario. But I know myself as an advertiser, I'm buying advertising space at Google Ads. I'm going to require them to live up to their numbers and use something like ADDX to prove that the numbers are correct. The people selling advertising space are going to be kicking and screaming about this one, but I think for people that are looking to advertise their whatever they're trying to sell or get subscribers for, that I was trying to do for Road to Ruta, are going to require it. You just got to be honest. No more lying in advertising. I know it kind of, it's not the ad, it's lying about the figures, lying about the population that actually looks at the ad. And ADDX is looking to fix that problem. So I like that company. I think companies with something, a reason to be alive, a reason to be there, and a good reason to be there will do extremely well in the months and years to come and decades to come. And I think ADDX will be a really good one. Not sure where it is trading. I don't even think it is trading yet, but just keep an eye on that. And then the latest one I'm looking at is this Salt lending. And Salt it's a way to get a loan. With the banks crash, you can use your cryptocurrency as collateral to get a loan. And I talked about it in yesterday's video. I'm getting more and more excited about this. They have not gone public. There's pre-ICO going on right now where you can get Salt tokens for I think 85% off. But you pay with Bitcoin. It's not one of an Ethereum thing that you got to figure out how to use Ethereum before you do it. You just pay them in Bitcoin. Set up an account, pay them in Bitcoin. Just go to the about terms and all that stuff here, and do a search on Salt Lending. There's a lot of salt companies out there. This is called Salt Lending. And as far as those who asked if it's in Cliff's data, it is in Cliff's data for the long term. There was some problems in analyzing this company because of the name. Salt is used in so many different things. You know, Cliff's data and his bots just scour the internet for the word salt, and you can just imagine how many salts you're going to get. So he narrowed it to Salt Lending, and then there's a lot of companies with salt in the name. There's financial companies with salt in the name. But he did narrow it down. He said, yep, this is a long-termer. The reason I like it, it is the U.S.-based company and abides by all the U.S. laws as far as know your customer. There's no credit requirements. It's a collateral-based loan. So you give them cryptocurrency. I think right now, or when it kicks in, it's going to be Ethereum or Bitcoin. And they lend you a certain amount of money. I think it's up to 80% of your collateral. I think that was the... I'll do more research and get back to you on that. But, you know, if you've been denied credit everywhere else in the criminal banking system, you don't have to worry about it. This isn't about credit. It's about collateral. And they hold your collateral, and if you default on the loan, they can sell off your collateral to make you whole. Very easy for a bank to do, and one of the hardest things about being a bank and a bank lender is the collateral, securing the collateral. You got to go through the courts, and you got to go, you know, do a repo on a house or a car or anything like that. Huge money in lawyer fees, and you know that's why banks require such good credit. In this situation, you don't have the repo situation. Salt already holds your collateral, and if you default on your obligation, they're going to sell it off and cover whatever you're short. So I think it's an amazing idea, and the best part about it is that it goes around our current banking system, kind of. I mean, Salt gets their money from banks, and so if you take it, and the banks agree to do it because they know how liquid the cryptocurrencies are, and you know the banks will make money any way they can. So the banks lend Salt money, you give Salt your collateral, they give the money to you. And you can use it any way you want. You don't have to tell anybody how you're using it. You have to do anything like that. You can't, I don't believe you can write it off as far as if you're going to buy a house with it, because the asset is not encumbered. Your house wouldn't be encumbered, and I think that's one of the IRS requirements. But you'll get good interest rates apparently, and the Salt tokens are, I think they're looking to raise about $1 billion for this company. I'm just really interested in it. I have invested in it, and it's a pre-ICO right now. So go to Salt Lending and find out about the ICO, what they're looking for as far as early terms, and it is working within the system to take out the system, if you ask me. Working within the banking system to take out the process of going through banks, and the banks like it because it's a little side thing that they make money on, but it really will at some point eat into their monopoly on lending, creating money out of thin air. And these are absolutely honest loans because they aren't backed by nothing or a promise. They are backed by your assets, your cryptocurrency assets, and that's important. So check it out, and I'll do a lot more research and get back to you guys on that. But as far as the crypto stuff, if there's just one thing I would say, it's going to be a crypto summer. It already has been, starting in June, and then we had a little break in July, and I think the crypto craziness will kick in again starting next week and run throughout September, October, November. Lots going on, so much going on. It's exciting, and behind the scenes, the banksters are getting kicked out, and the cryptocurrencies will replace the banksters in some format. Will silver be cut free from manipulation? I think at some point it will. But I think the good guys are waiting for more crypto involvement by the people. So you're not going to see these big laws, banning cryptocurrencies. And the latest law that everybody said, "Oh my God, look, they're banning cryptocurrencies." That's the most ridiculous thing ever. They can throw the language of cryptocurrencies in the travel ban. You can't leave with more than X amount of money. But how could they ever check? They don't. They have no idea what your private code is. They have no idea what your accounts are. It's like going out of town and not having any assets in any savings checking account, brokerage account, and having the government know all your stuff before you leave a country. It's ridiculous. Even the concept of it's unenforceable. So anybody who says, "Oh, I told you the government's coming to attack the cryptos," they're not. They're not. They did a good job at slowing people down, which is exactly why it was put in there. In the end, the U.S. government will take out the bad guys, take out the criminals, and will be passing laws to protect the cryptocurrencies, to protect the assets of the new way we're gonna do business. It's really exciting. And I know a lot of people don't see it that way right now. They're still stuck in that old, the bad guys will steal all the cryptocurrencies. That's ridiculous. My friends, you got to know what's going on behind the scenes. And behind the scenes, the good guys are taking out the bad guys. And I've proven it 100 ways since Sunday, and I'm going to keep proving it. And now, if you know what I know, that the bad guys are going to be gone soon, it is a great time to invest in the future. And the future is these cryptocurrencies, and keep stacking in silver in case the crypto world falls apart. But I don't think it's falling apart. I don't think there's any chance that it will fall apart. And if it does fall apart, we got worse problems than our monetary system. So that's it for me. Bix Weir, roadtoroota.com. Don't forget to subscribe to these YouTube videos and go to roadtoroota.com. Sign up for the free emails and you get a free book. What a bargain. Also note that the coins are shipped or about to ship. The silver Road to Roota coins, collector's edition, top of the line. They're all numbered on the side. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm very excited. So I should be rolling out with a new program next couple weeks. We'll talk to you later.